Number 3 on our Cache Valley Media Group's list of the top 25 Aggie football players for this year. He's smart, he's strong, he's a veteran. We're talking Alfred Edwards. Number 72, the graduate senior at 6'7", 325 pounds from Redland, California. All he has done is start 42 of the 43 games he has played for Utah State at mostly that left tackle position. Such a key spot for a football team. Edwards, a real veteran. He has been honored by some of the preseason lists of being all-conference. He was close, I'm sure, to being our all-conference selection for this year. He's going to have a heck of a year, and he wants to have a good year. Plus, he's been very, very good in the classroom. He has been academic All-Mountain West 3 years, already graduated in kinesiology, now working on his MBA, and to be a great Aggie football player for a great team this year. Number 3 on the list, Alfred Edwards, the left tackle.
Alfred Edwards at number 3 in our top 25 Aggies for 2022. Alfred Edwards, very high on him. I mean, this is a guy who's been an impact player from almost the day he showed up on campus. And he's a guy that in 2017 was his redshirt year. He was still an impact player because he was named the scout team offensive MVP. But he's been basically starting since he was a redshirt freshman at Utah State since 2018. And he has been versatile. He's been healthy. He's a big guy. And just like what you wanted at a left tackle. And he has performed really, really well for USU. He's got a lot of preseason accolades, and he absolutely deserves them.
Yeah, talk about going all the way back to 2018. That 2018 offensive line for Utah State started 4 seniors and a redshirt freshman at left tackle of all places. And that was one of the better offensive line Utah State's, had in a while. Obviously, there was some help with the schedule, but even against the tougher opponents, Boise State, when they played them, Boise State was like one of the top sack-getting teams in the country, I think. Might have been number 1, if I recall correctly. If they weren't, they were in like the top 5, top 10. And though Utah State ended up losing that game to Boise State, I don't think they gave up a sack that entire game. So they did really well, even against tougher opponents. And then they faced North Texas, who had a couple of really good disruptive guys, and they just blew them out of the water in more ways than one. So, and since 2018, Alfred Edwards has 42 starts, if I counted and did my math right. 42 starts and has another year left to go. Could play another 13 games, could end the year with as many as 56 starts, I believe.
Which is incredible.
Yeah.
And then an offensive lineman, he's likely to, I think he would set a new record for Utah State offensive linemen.
Yeah, I believe he'll end up setting records for most games played, provided he doesn't get injured. Then you're looking at pretty much a minimum of 12 games. 13 with the bowl game, 14 if you play a conference championship game. Or 15 if you go to the national championship.
Hey, we can always dream.
Yeah, you can always dream of that. But more likely we're going to see him play in probably 13 games. You'd be optimistic and say 14. But like I said, 55 starts, and I think 56 games played because I think he didn't start one of the games in 2018 maybe. There's one year where he didn't start one of the games but played. So he's started in all but one of the games he's played, so 42 of 43 games. And he's just been and he's been consistent too. He missed one game last year due to injury, but I don't think he's missed a game other than that due to injury or anything like that I can remember.
No, very versatile. 6'7".
Yeah,
and 325 pounds.
Yeah, dude's durable. He's good, and there's a reason he's getting attention. In a year where we've talked about Utah State not getting as much attention in the all-conference stuff, he's been getting some of that attention. Probably just missed out on the first team all-conference, like the official one. He was in the first team for, it was either Athlon or Phil Steele. I can't remember which one he was first team in. But, he's either first or second team for pretty much everybody who's done a list. So he deserves the attention because he's good.
Yes, he's very good. Impact player for Utah State at the left tackle. Only gave up 2 sacks last year. Certainly you want to not give up any, but as much pressure that was coming at Logan Bonner, and as long as he would hold on to the ball at times, sometimes that's not the left tackle's fault.
Yeah.
But great player. He's a heads-up guy, smart, We've had some great interviews with him after some of these practices or scrimmages, very much aware of what's going on, and helping lead an offensive line that has some holes to kind of fill, which I know that it's maybe a little overused, but he is definitely a senior leader, has been around and been through a lot with this team over the years. So over the course of his career, he's seen some pretty high highs and he's seen some pretty low lows. But what's consistent is Alfred Edwards continues to produce on the field.
Yeah, he's been part of two of the best Utah State teams this century, or two of the best since like the 60s. So almost an entire century.
Right, yeah.
So obviously, yeah, he has, and then he saw 2020, like you said, some crazy highs and lows. And he's going to try and create another one of those greatest seasons. Maybe back-to-back, who knows? And we have seen him try and take a leadership role with these two new guys coming in, although he kind of made fun of Wade for being like, he called him like the elder statesman. And this is the guy with 42 starts is calling Wade Meacham the elder statesman.
That's right. And when you look at offensive linemen, how many snaps they get in a game is like a big barometer of their time on the field. It would be in the thousands for Alfred Edwards because of how long he's been a starter and an impact player for USU. Plays a huge role. Yeah,
usually last year Utah State had 3 players get 1,000 snaps. I think Edwards was one of them. Missing a game would have maybe taken him out of that. Quazle White and Ali Fua both got 1,000 snaps. So Edwards, in starting pretty much every game, probably had 3,000 to 4,000 snaps.
Easy.
In his time.
Easy. I think he is an NFL prospect. I know you're maybe still a little bit on the fence on that with him.
We'll see. Might be more suited for right tackle in the NFL. But if he's so used to playing left tackle, maybe just tries to get on somewhere and be a swing tackle. He'll probably end up being an undrafted free agent. He'll get somewhere. You don't start 42 games in college in the Mountain West and then not get a chance in the NFL somewhere.
Right.
So he'll get a chance. And maybe he can have a good career.
He's got NFL size.
Yeah, he does. That's the thing that actually really help him is being the 6'7", 325. And it'll also depend on how long his arms are. That's a big thing that colleges look at, and we have no data on that at this point. You'll only be able to find that out if he goes to the Combine, which maybe. They invite a lot of people to the Combine. So we'll have to see.
Yeah. But Alfred Edwards at number 3. An offensive lineman at number 3 on the list. And he absolutely deserves to be there in my mind. In fact, I had him at number 2 on my list.
I think I had him in the top 10. Like I said, I made the controversial move to put Jacob South over him because I like Jacob South a little more than Edwards. But that's more of me thinking South is underrated than me thinking Edwards is overrated. I have nothing against Edwards. I just like to boost the stock of Jacob South a little bit. So I think I might have had 2 offensive linemen in my top 10.
That's fair enough. There's some great experience there and talent for Utah State as well.